started tonight. 1 down, 22 to go. And for those doing math at home, that's 3 preseason games, 17 regular season games, and 3 playoff games, assuming they'd have a bye because they'd be undefeated. It is another BrownsCast, WFNY BrownsCast, late night edition after the Browns just beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville. I don't even remember what the score was, like 23-14 or something. All that matters, 24-13. See, it's a Friday night. I'm sorry. All that matters is the Browns won. I'm your host, Josh Poloha. With me, as usual, on the BrownsCast, Joe Gilbert, and we are here to discuss the events that took place in Jacksonville tonight. The good, the bad, the ugly. I know there were some ugly things. But first and foremost, Joe, how are you doing? And did you enjoy watching an actual Browns football game, even if it was preseason? Because I know I did.
Yes, it's good to actually talk about some football rather than off-field issues. So, yeah, it was a nice change of pace for Browns fans today.
Man, I feel like we can't get away from those off-field issues, and we get made fun of as Browns fans, and that's what sucks the most. I'm like, I didn't do any of this. I'm just a fan. That's all I am. But let's get into it. I guess we'll start off with the bad news, and it only goes up from there because the first quarter was ugly in more ways than one. Second play of the game, first year starting center, Nick Harris, who's taking over for J.C. Tretter, who was released by the Browns. Well, not released. They just didn't resign him. Or was he released?
No, he got cut. Yeah.
So he got cut. Nick Harris was supposed to take over in his third year. Second play of the game, he gets bull rushed, lands awkwardly on his knee, carted off. I hope for the best. I'm knocking on wood right now.
Yeah,
but it's not looking good. So that was probably the ugly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was brutal. That was, if you could just kind of mock up one of the most brutal starts, that was right up there because just imagine you finally got the job that you've been working for 2 years, and second play of the freaking preseason, you're done. You go down. That's just that's awful. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Well, obviously we got to see if it's serious that he's out for the year or whatever. But it's gonna be interesting to see how they kind of handle it because J.C. Tretter is still out there. And then we still do have Ethan Pugh. I think it's Pochik or something. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's all. That sounds good. Whatever you say, that sounds good.
Yeah. He had some starting experience, so maybe they just go with him. But that was tough because there's some high hopes for Nick Harris after a lot of the spot starts he had last year and over the past few years. It just sucks. Hopefully that he gets lucky and it's not a season ender, but never good to get carted off.
Yeah, I was thinking, my first thought was really this is so, I hate this. I hate saying this, but it's so Cleveland and it's so Brown. Like, second play of the game, the starting center. By the way, before going any further, I forgot to say that this WFNY podcast is brought to you by the Evergreen Podcast Network. I sometimes forget that, so I apologize. And Craig, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I should have said that 3 minutes ago. But back to Nick Harris. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, like you said, 2 years waiting. He's had all this practice time because J.C. Tretter barely practiced. He finally got his opportunity. Second game in the second play of his first preseason game. Boom. And I know you brought up J.C. Tretter. It seems like it's like, they should just bring him back. But then again, it's mid-August. Isn't there a reason why he's still a free agent? I mean, it's not like he predicted that Nick Harris would get hurt, and he's like, oh, no, I could just go back to the Browns.
Right.
So the fact that he's still a free agent, it kind of is concerning, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's familiar with the system. He knows the system. He obviously the head coach, the OC, everyone, Bill Callahan, the offensive line coach, all familiar with him. But I don't know. One, I feel bad for Nick Harris, and two, it just sucks. I mean, I guess this will move us to the second topic. Deshaun Watson. First game in 2 years. Struggled mightily.
Look like it.
Yeah. One, it looks like it. Two, he was playing with a center and getting snaps from a center that he's never practiced with. I'm assuming. I'm assuming he took all of his practice reps from Nick Harris.
Yeah,
which I know Zach Jackson pointed out that is the only reason Nick Harris played tonight, because they wanted to play Deshaun Watson, and Nick Harris is Deshaun Watson's center. So I don't know. It's just it's just like, it's easy to say Nick Harris shouldn't have been playing tonight, but every time you have an injury in preseason, I think you could say that. And if if a guy stays healthy, you never question it.
Right.
So it's like one of those like Monday morning quarterback /20 or hindsight. But
it's football. It happens, and it sucks. But
it is.
Happens.
It's football. It happens. But Deshaun Watson struggled. Then again, I know I said this to you prior to the podcast. My favorite part of preseason is that when a player does really well, you're always reminded by multiple people usually, that it's a preseason game. But when a player does really bad, you don't remind anyone that it's preseason. You just say that he did really bad. Yeah. And I mean, Browns Twitter, man. I know there's one rule and one rule only: stay off of Browns Twitter during the games. But I think that rule can be like multiplied by 1,000 during preseason games, because it's like, is Josh Jacobs the next freaking Tom Brady? Is Deshaun Watson going to be cut? Okay, let's not say Deshaun Watson going to be cut, but you know what I mean. It's just like the ebbs and flows. I mean, it's the greatest roller coaster in freaking Northeast or Northern Ohio, and we have Cedar Point here. It's just crazy. Like, settle down. 1, it's preseason. 2, just take a chill pill, put it down your phone, and just watch the game and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. And there's multiple reasons why he didn't play well. Why didn't it? It was his first game in over a year. It's the receiver.
2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
Which we can get into that on a later podcast once this appeal process goes through. But
receivers can't catch. They didn't have their top 2 running backs, most of the line. So it's one of those things. Yeah, book it to put it behind you and kind of move on. But I'm not taking anything much from it other than just the Nick Harris injury. That was rough. that just sucked. And pretty much the biggest news I think from the Deshaun Watson was just kind of prior to the game, he actually apologized, which was like the first time he did throughout the whole process, and then the actual saying that he's going to counseling. So that was newsworthy.
I don't want to get into this because I dislike talking about it, because I mean, we all know the ugliness of the Deshaun Watson situation. But if only he had the statement he had tonight to Aditi
3 months ago,
3 or 4 months ago. I mean, it's just like, dude, like, I appreciate him saying it tonight.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it obviously wasn't tonight. It was at some point this week because there was a previously filmed interview. But like, where was that 3-4 months ago? I feel like it's too little too late, both in terms of like people respecting you, some people respecting you, and the NFL suspension appeal process, which I don't know. Maybe that was his way of trying to get a settlement done. I don't know. It's just like, I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate him doing that. I'm sure it was like maybe he memorized that. It was something his lawyer wrote down and he memorized what to say. I don't know. It's just like, where was that 3-4 months ago, dude?
Yeah.
And I appreciate him going to counseling, stuff like that, but it's just like, I think it's too little too late on that front. But hey, I guess it's good that he did it now rather than never do it.
Right.
Apologize to the women involved and to all women that go through this kind of stuff. But I don't know. On to, not to just push that off, but I just like talking about it just because it is what it is. The one more negative part, by the way, if you haven't watched the game yet, I don't know if you haven't watched the game, I don't know why you tuned into this, but if you haven't watched the game yet, just get to the second quarter. It gets much better after the first quarter.
Much better.
But
the first quarter doesn't matter.
One more negative part besides how Nick Harris's injury and how Deshaun Watson played. Anthony Schwartz.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Not a good start. Let's just say
he had 2 drops. He looks like Greg Little out there, and if you're ever compared to Greg Little, it's not a good thing.
Right in his hands too. It's not. It wasn't like tough catches. It was right in your hands. Yeah, it was for a second year guy that's supposed to kind of have a breakout year. Hopefully, make the jump. That was not a good start. So he's got some room to improve.
I guess it's called a sophomore slump for a reason too, and I don't know. It's just I know we talked about this prior to going live. I think if Jakeem Grant, who tore his Achilles this past week in practice, yes, wasn't really going to be used as a wide receiver type. He was more of a kick returner and punt returner. That's what he was brought to the Browns to do. That's why they signed him this offseason. He was an all-pro returner. But I feel like if he didn't get hurt, Schwartz's seat would be even hotter because Schwartz might be a guy that can return kicks and punts, which is possibly the only reason he might make the team. I mean, I know he's only going in the second year. He was, a third round? Was he a third or fifth?
Third, yeah, third.
Third round pick last year. It's just, I don't know. If Grant was on a team, or if Grant was healthy, I think it'd be easy to be like, all right, we screwed up on that third round pick last year. Let's just let him go. But I mean, Schwartz, they drafted him because of his speed. We all know that. He was going to be a developmental guy, but he was fast. But you just can't, as an NFL wideout, you can't have drops like he did tonight. And he struggled last year. It's not like it's like something new that happened tonight. It's
just wild. Like, if you go back to that Kansas City game, he was the best receiver on the team. And then it's just like we've not seen that receiver since. It's been the weirdest career for him. But hey, it's
been the weirdest career for him, and he literally has
only been one season in a preseason. Yeah, it's still given time, obviously, but not a good start.
All right, so now with the negative talk, now that we're 12 minutes into this, then the positives. There were quite a few positives tonight. The biggest positive, Jerome freaking Ford, 5th round pick this past April from Cincinnati. I actually didn't realize that he played at Alabama before transferring to Cincinnati. I had no idea prior to them saying that during the broadcast. Whether it was his speed, his acceleration, his vision, his moves to find the open field.
Yeah.
Man, I know it was a lot of it was against backups, but like that guy could be something. And I think might be, well, I guess that I won't even say might be. That's the reason, one, why they drafted him, and two, why Kareem Hunt will probably be going in, or he's entering his last season as a Brown.
Yeah, if I was any running back not named Nick Chubb, I would be a little nervous tonight. Because Jerome Ford looked like he's got something. His burst was pretty eye popping. If you just watch that 41-yard run, he turned on the Jets, and he's got great agility, and it was fun to watch him. He was definitely the star of the show. He had 2 touchdowns. I think he had a total of 57 yards, 5.7 yards per carry. So that was. It was a great showing for a first time out in the field in the NFL career. He balled out, and it was pretty fun to watch. He was definitely the star of the show on the offense.
Yeah, you said 10 carries, 57 yards and a touchdown, and then he actually led the team in receiving yards too. He had 4 catches, 45 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. His only negative was
a fumble.
He caught a ball out of the backfield, made it 3 really good moves to get a first down on 3rd and 10. And then he fumbled it. So that was his only negative. But to get to that point of fumbling was another, like, wow, this guy's good. Yeah. So I'll take that. It's okay. Just learn to hold on to the ball, Jerome. Yeah. And I know Kevin Stefanski came in and talked to him right away. I'm sure.
Oh, I bet Nick Chubb did too.
Nick Chubb dude, that is a great play, but none of it matters because you fumbled.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was like the first guy he talked to coming off the field. Kevin Stefanski came to him. So yeah, it was definitely a learning point, but man, that was a heck of a debut for him. He's going to be fun to watch the rest of the preseason, see how he develops. But yeah, that was fun.
It's pretty clear that with Jerome Ford, Dearness Johnson, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt, the Browns had the best running back room in the NFL. Yeah. I don't really think you can even argue that, to be honest.
No, you can't.
I mean, if Jerome Ford is RB3 or RB4, I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah. I really don't think you can compete with that room. There's no other room that has 4 guys that you can pretty confident that he can contribute in an NFL game. So that was great. And it's the rookies overall just played really well. And we'll get to the other ones shortly. But yeah, Ford was really good. It was great to see.
It was, because I know it was one of those things where, like, when they drafted him, a lot of people said, "Wow, that is one heck of a pick in the 5th round."
Yeah.
And then during training camp, people were like, "Wow, this guy's pretty good." But like, to see it on the field, I don't care if it's against backups. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I know I said wow a couple times just watching.
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah.
Before we move on to the defense side of the ball, anything else about offense?
Offense. I thought Josh Dobbs did well.
How did I forget about Josh Dobbs?
I know.
Yeah, we're not moving on to offense yet.
Yeah.
No, we're not moving off of offense yet.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs, he looked pretty good. He looked like he was a veteran out there, leading the team. Didn't do any like big wow plays, but moved the team. Was able to move the team, score a couple touchdowns. So, yeah, I thought he played very well. Obviously, it's against backups, so I take that. But he looks like he'll stick. I don't think there's any.
That's my grain of salt, by the way, if you're watching live.
I don't think there's any anything that you saw today that would make you feel like Josh Rosen would beat him out. So let's just say that.
I mean, let's just say that if Josh Rosen beats you out, okay, let's go on to something else.
Yeah.
But seriously, Josh Dobbs looked good. Yes, it was against backups, but hey, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Right.
He's gonna be QB3, I'm assuming. I mean, we can talk about this in another podcast, but if Deshaun Watson suspended for more than 6 games, he will probably still be QB3. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
He'll be
but
QB2,
either way, or he'll be QB3 because they'll trade for someone. So I don't know. But on to that. Josh Dobbs looked good. He did what he had to do. I know that his touchdown pass to Jerome Ford was nice. He got the defender to commit to him and get off of Ford and had a nice pass for a touchdown. So you can't complain about that. He did what he had to do, even if it was against backups. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah. The other thing about the offense, kind of a negative, I would say, was just the receiving core. No one really kind of stood out. Really.
Isn't that like the if you were to put a quote, if there was like a quote on a wide receivers room at Cleveland Browns facility in Berea, it would say no one really stood out.
Right. It was just it was like a bunch of okay. It was
that's it. Change, edit quote. The quote on the door will say it was all just okay.
Yeah, it was definitely obviously missing Cooper, which is a big deal because he takes the attention away from everybody. But yeah, it's they may need to do something there. Let's just say that they yes, probably.
For as much talent as the Browns have in the running backs room, it is the complete opposite in the wide receivers room. Yes, Amari Cooper is good. But let's be honest, on a really good team, is he really for number 1 wide receiver? Let's be honest. I'd say he's a number 2 wide receiver.
I would say he's like a 1.5.
Okay, so he's WR 1.5.
Yeah.
But the Browns need him to be like WR 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their next best receiver should be like a WR 4.
Well, maybe a 3. We'll say.
Okay, DPJ. Okay, 3. I'll give him a 3.
3.
But then after that, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
The fact that Anthony Schwartz could be like the 4th best wide receiver on the team tells you all you need to know, honestly.
The fact that they have a running back playing receiver, Felton. I think he got out there pretty darn early
That's true.
He got out there. He was on the field very early. So
I don't know what that's the waiver wire. I'm sure they're going to pick up a wide receiver or two, but that really worries me. I know the saying is Deshaun Watson can make that room better.
Yeah.
We already know Deshaun Watson's probably going to be out. Well, he's going to be out at least 6 games. We all know that it's going to be more than that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So when you have Jacoby Brissett or Josh Dobbs thrown to you, can they really make the wide receivers better? I think it's the opposite, where the wide receivers have to make them better. And outside of Cooper, I mean, DPJ, I really like DPJ, but like, I can't really count on him to make Jacoby Brissett better.
He hasn't been consistent. Yeah, he hasn't been consistent so far in his career. Like, we've seen snippets of like, wow, this guy could be something, and then he can disappear the next game. It will help. The tight end group is going to be good. I think David Njoku is going to have a career year, and then Harrison Bryant. Yeah, he definitely needs to. And then Harrison Bryant should have a big year too. So that will help kind of alleviate the pressure on the receiving corps. But they still need help. You can't have one receiver and hope for the best with the rest. That's not a good formula.
Oh, that'd be a nice shirt. Hope for the best for the rest. Man, I love all these taglines to bring up. But I know it's not talking about that much because it's the third tight end. But will be a very interesting.
First battle. Time in a while. Yeah, time in a while.
Very interesting battle for who will be the third tight end. I mean, I know a bunch of guys played tonight, but I know David Njoku, Harrison Bryant. Those are 2 guys that I'm not worried about whatsoever. But with the amount of times that Stefanski plays multiple tight ends, they need to have a legitimate third tight end. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the job. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 of them played tonight. I don't know. It'll just be interesting. I feel like that's like an underrated battle in camp and preseason.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Yeah, there's a lot of names too.
I know one of them used to play basketball for Baylor, but there are so many different names that I forgot which one it was.
It's a hyphenated name.
I knew it was hyphenated, but they had multiple hyphenated tight ends out there. I'm pretty positive.
Let's see. I think it's Nakia Griffin-Stewart.
Yes. He had a couple catches tonight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. All
right.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting battle.
Yes, for sure. Enough of the offense. On the defense, by far, I know there are plenty of questions outside of running back. There are plenty of questions surrounding the offense, especially because Nick Harris just went down with an injury. So you can't even count on like a full offensive line anymore. Defense. I mean, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney didn't play tonight, so I wasn't really worried about defensive line. Right. Linebackers look good. Defensive backfield, I would say right now, best defensive backfield in the NFL, and I don't feel like that's a hot take.
Yeah, I would say the cornerback room by far got to be the best. Like, you just had your rookie go out there and have a hell of a game, pick 6, and that's what I think he's quarterback 5, right? Because it would be
Newsome, Ward, Greedy.
Newsome, Ward, Green. Then
who am I missing?
AJ Green.
Oh, AJ Green. Yes.
Yeah. People forget about him, but he's really good when he comes in too. So it's a luxury. There's that group is fantastic. And then the safety room, we didn't even see our John Johnson out there. But we have John Johnson and then Delpit, who's I think is going to have a Pro Bowl level year. I really do. I think he's going to burst on the scene this year. Yeah, he's just got to stay healthy, obviously. But yeah, I think he's going to have a heck of a year. And Ronnie Harrison's back. And then there was a lot of fun names out there. Dakota Allen, I believe, is the name, or not Dakota. D'Anthony Allen, I believe his name was. He had a good game. LeCount had a fumble recovery. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who gets that 4th spot in the safety room. But yeah, this secondary is the starting group, and then just the depth overall is gonna be. It's very good. It's gonna be right up there with the best in the league.
It will be the best in the league. Yeah. I'll put that bold prediction down right now.
Yeah.
You have Grant Delpit being a Pro Bowler if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
You said David Njoku will have a breakout season, so that means Pro Bowl season 2.
Yeah.
So that's your bold predictions. My bold prediction is that the defense backfield is best in the NFL. I don't really know if that's that bold though, just because they're that good.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome on opposite sides, then you add in AJ Green, and it's MJ, number 23 MJ, the best MJ to ever wear number 23 in all of sports, right?
D'Anthony Bell, by the way. Sorry. But yes, go on.
You're still let my joke go. All right, so I'm with that one.
Repeat it again.
Joe just Donowald me. Donowald me for those not paying attention.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Let's turn the.
I didn't say anything. So
wait, I got the Infinity Stone. I'm turning the back time here. Okay, go ahead. What's happening?
I said, no, it's on. We've moved past. So on to, I guess, defensively though. I mean, I'm really. I know in football you want high scoring games. But if it wanted me to say I'm really, really excited and pumped to see this Browns defense all season.
Yeah, they're going to need them.
We all know they're going to need that dominant Browns defense. So,
yeah, it's gonna. They're fun to watch, and there was a lot of young guys that played well today. Obviously, we talked about MJ Emerson. He had a heck of a game. That pick six was one of the best plays I've seen in a while from a quarterback. He just stole the ball and made some heck of moves to get to the end zone, and then Isaiah Thomas had a sack and a couple quarterback hits, and it was a great showing by the rookies, and especially on defense. They were really good.
I agree, and then I know we have to talk about the Isaiah Thomas. Who I literally prior to tonight, it shows you how much I paid attention to the backups on the Browns this preseason. Didn't know that they had a player named Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, so everyone heard that, I was like, wait, what? But he played well tonight too. So it's a lot of the young guys and rookies played really well and made a name for themselves tonight. Yeah.
It was great to see. They pretty much kicked the crap out of the backups of the Jaguars. We could say it now. It was not even close.
Let's just say that there's a reason the Jaguars have stunk for so long.
Yeah, it was 24-0 after
their backups are bad.
Yeah,
holy cow.
Yeah.
Speaking of that
was the Browns about 5 years ago. So
yeah, we all know about bad teams and bad backups, especially. The Browns might be the preseason champs a lot, but we all know about bad backups.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I know betting goes legal in Ohio on January 1st, hopefully.
Yes.
But
all systems
the Browns, the Browns were 2.5 point underdogs tonight, plus 135 on the money line. Did the odds makers not know that the Jaguars backups were that bad? I don't know. I just wish I had an opportunity to put money on that because that was easy money. But then again, it is what it is.
I feel like they reacted too much to all the Brown starters not being dressed today, but that was easy money, I would say.
Damn it, that was easy money. But I guess 30 minutes we've already been talking. Anything else? Offensively, we're worried about stuff. Defensively, I'm hyped up. I think you're hyped up. Oh, my bad.
The star of the show. Cade York, man.
The star of the show?
Yes.
I wouldn't call him the star of the show, though. He hasn't missed. Has he? Let's be honest. Has he missed a kick? Has he missed a kick since last season?
I think he missed one during all of training camp.
Video or
it was like
so if it's not on video, it's gonna happen.
It was like 58 yards too.
Oh, why do you have to say 58? Because that was literally what Evan McPherson just made for the Bengals.
I know,
tonight.
Right? By the way, this division is shaping up to be the elite kickers of all time.
I feel like, is that like AFC North, the division of elite kickers? I feel like that's not like a good description to have.
Oh, we also have great quarterbacks too. that'll be the little subtitle. Oh, we also have Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so you forgot a team. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you said it's the division of great quarterbacks, and then just completely left off the Steelers. That was fantastic.
Yeah. Notice they're not listed under the great kickers or the great quarterbacks.
What do they have? I mean, they have a good tight end, a good running back.
Yep.
All right, and it's nice to make fun of the Steelers, though. I haven't been able to do that for most of my life, so I need to take advantage. Just like Michigan's taking advantage of making fun of Ohio State for the first time in 10 years, need to take advantage of it now until it's too late, or before it's too late, right?
Yeah, that's what happens when you take the third best quarterback in the crappiest quarterback class in quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch Trubisky's biggest storyline in the NFL is wanting to be called Mitchell. And then you have Mason Rudolph, whose biggest storyline since entering the NFL is being hit in the head by his own helmet. And then you have Kenny Pickett, who's literally known as Small Hands Pickett. So, yeah, just 3 great quarterbacks you have in Pittsburgh. Somehow, I'm glad not too many people listen to this because I'm sure this will be put somewhere. Kenny Small Hands Pickett or Mitchell Trubisky or
no, you know what? Somehow Tomlin is going to get that team to 8-8 or something like that. That's gonna be. He is by far the best coach in the league.
He's never gone under 500, correct?
No,
which is mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling. Like,
by the way, he can't go 8-8. Now you're either over 500 or under 500. Technically, you can't go 500
or
anymore.
a tie. You could tie.
Oh, that's true. Damn it, you're all right. All right, continue.
Yeah, Tomlin will try to figure out another way of not sucking. Yeah, it's.
By the way, for you fancy footballers out there, maybe we will have a podcast about that in the next couple of weeks. By the way, before the season, drafting Najee Harris, running back, Pittsburgh Steelers, seemed like such an easy move. One, he had so many receptions last year, so if you're in PPR, money in the bank. Two, they literally have 3 quarterbacks that you can't rely on. So he'll either get a lot more carries or he'll get a lot more catches out of the backfield. Either way, easy money. So draft Najee Harris. If you don't have a top 2 pick, top 3 pick. That's my hot take.
Okay. Yeah.
If you have 4 or lower, draft Najee.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest. Even when the Steelers can't move the ball offensively, Najee Harris is still going to be catching freaking footballs.
Yeah, true that.
But back to the Browns, back to the better team in the rivalry.
Back to Cade York.
Back to Cade York. Yeah, that's right. It was nice. I mean, yes, it's one preseason game, I understand. But, I was never like, man, I wonder if this kicker's going to miss it. I just, had
right. It's nice having confidence in your kicker. It's weird.
But let's wait until the season until he's in First Energy Stadium when the wind is literally swirling outside the stadium.
That is true.
But yeah, I just hope he's everything that, me, along with the Browns front office who drafted him in the 5th round, better hope that he's everything that he's supposed to be.
Yes, please. I hope so. Because as we talk about how the offense may be struggling given what the quarterback will be, having a good, reliable kicker is an underrated aspect, because you can just look to Baltimore. They have a dominant kicker, and it is so much better when you have that.
Speaking of Baltimore and Cade York, didn't you compare Cade York to Justin Tucker a couple weeks ago on the BrownsCast? I'm pretty sure you did.
I possibly have.
I think you did. All right, but you're right though. I mean, Justin Ticker. I just combined Tucker and kicker together to Justin Ticker. Justin Tucker. I mean, if you're
he's the GOAT, obviously.
If you're within the 38-yard line, which would be a 55-yard field goal, you're like, all right, don't worry about it. We'll just get 3 points.
Right.
Just don't turn the ball over, and we'll get points.
That's got to be so just comforting to your offensive coordinator, all your offensive players. It's like, oh, okay, we'll at least get something out of this.
True. I mean, yeah, it takes all the pressure off Lamar Jackson, who will be getting paid about $50 million a year in the next few weeks.
Thanks, Deshaun.
Oh man, anything else you want to talk about though in terms of the game tonight?
Nothing. I just thought the rookies played well. The first team offense was a mess, but that how much can you take from either? It's preseason, and a lot of guys were missing, and just the biggest thing is the Nick Harris injury. Hopefully we're praying here that he's all right, but it didn't look good. It didn't look good.
Not looking too promising.
I know.
I mean, like I said earlier at the beginning of the podcast. I feel so bad for him.
It really is.
He finally got the job that he's been aiming for, and boom, 2 plays in the preseason, done.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not done, but I mean, like you said, it's not looking too promising.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it. This is the first podcast I've done in a long time that's under an hour. I really actually like it, but there's no way we could talk about this game tonight for an hour. So it's
preseason. Preseason podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, only a Browns game can get us to do a post-game recap of a preseason game.
Oh man, yeah. Well, we're at home for the next 2 games.
Yeah. Speaking of, are you going?
I may or may not be going to 1 or 2 of those games. We'll see.
All right. So the next game, Sunday. Obviously 9 days from now, not 2 days from now.
The Eagles.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts got freaking hurt.
Rocked.
Literally. He got rocked on the sidelines.
Such a dirty play, man.
So dirty. I mean, that was dirty during the regular season, let alone a freaking first game of the preseason.
If you haven't seen it, it's like 2 steps out of bounds and then you get hit. It was just terrible. Yeah.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Terrible.
But yeah, so the Browns, they host Philadelphia 1:00 next Sunday, and then Saturday, August 27th, they host the Bears.
It's gonna be weird seeing a preseason game at 1:00. Usually they're at like 9.
You're right. Now that you say that, Sunday afternoon at 1. That is gonna be really weird.
It'll prepare us for the regular season.
I wonder how many people are gonna tailgate. I bet you it'll be thousands. Am I wrong to think that?
How many? Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
How many will be full?
The real question is how many will make it into the stadium?
True. It's a 1:00 game. Oh god. Pour one out for those people, literally and figuratively. So we will likely. I mean, this was just like an unplanned thing. I had messaged or I had texted Joe during like the first quarter, and actually earlier tonight. I was like, "Hey, possible post-game pod." It might not happen for the last 2 games. It might not. Depends what happens. Most likely it will, though, especially next week because it's a Sunday afternoon. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Any final thoughts, Joe?
I'm just glad football's back, man. The Browns football's back. Yeah. We have something to talk about. Rather
on the field. We've always had something to talk about. We have something to talk about on the field.
Very true. And God, please make a decision, NFL. Make a decision.
No,
that's all I ask for.
The problem here is that the NFL knows that they rule the world.
Yeah,
and that's all that's it. They rule the world. No matter what they say or do, they're still going to be the most watched and paid attention to sport in the U.S. and they don't care.
Yep. And if they don't have it decided by next Sunday, God help me. That's all I have to say. God help me.
Yeah, I also don't have any final thoughts. So, the Browns just beat.
How about those Guardians?
Oh, yeah, I know. The Cornercast was on last night. But, the Guardians just won 8-0 in Toronto. Little did we know, the best team in Cleveland in August would be the freaking Cleveland Guardians this year. That is crazy.
Who called that?
Now the favorites to win the AL Central.
Seriously, yeah.
But that is it with another Browns cast. We were just recapping the Browns beating the Jaguars 24-13 in Jacksonville this wonderful Friday night. For those of you that tuned in live, we appreciate you. Leave more comments. I completely forgot to look at the comment section. So Ed Hodler, friend of mine, Ed, we appreciate you. He was down in Florida and tuned in. I'm sure he's not tuned in anymore. I wish I was down in Florida, by the way. But back to this. What else? Oh, yeah. If you're tuning in live, appreciate you. Leave more comments. We'll interact with you guys. If you're listening to us on the podcast form, we appreciate you as well. And we will be back with you probably within the BrownsCast next weekend at some point. Until then, have a great weekend. And as always, go Browns.